Okay, today I'm sitting here at Mamasitas with Richard and Leroy from Aeonzen.
Hello.
So guys, would you please give us a short introduction of yourself and your band, please?
Well, we are from Cambridge in England, and this is our first album that we've just released. We're releasing 1st of May actually. It's on Amazon, co.uk.com. And we've been going for just over a year now. Because me and Lloyd were in several bands together before this one, and we thought, because bands before that, it always fell apart somehow, and we thought, because we've always got on and it's always been fine between us, and we've written songs well together, and it's always been great with us two, so we thought, why don't we do our own project and just see where it goes and do things ourselves and see what happens. And
that's how Aeonzen started, really.
Yeah, and it's working really well. So.
You told us before, you mentioned it, your first album is called The Mind's Portrait. Can you give us a deeper look into the material? Is it a concept album, and what are the topics, or are there any topics of the album?
I wouldn't say it's a concept album completely, but there are themes that go throughout, like, because our band name, Aeonzen, there's sort of the theme of time in every song, and that sort of comes within our band name, which is sort of infinite, and what was it we said?
It was
the other day?
Meditative state or something?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you really get a big sense of, you're getting quite a broad sense of prog with our album.
Yeah.
Isn't it really?
And we try and sort of appeal, well, I wouldn't say appeal to a large market, but we draw on lots of different styles, and it's not just your typical album, I'd say. Yeah.
Where was the production phase, and how was the work there? Was it easy, or?
It wasn't too bad, but considering, because we've got all these different singers, we've got Nils K. Rue, Pagan's Mind, Andreas Novak from Mind's Eye, Andy Kravlich from Silent Call, and Elias Bachucha from Myra. So that's 3 different countries right there, and then we're obviously in England, so that's another one, and then there was a keyboard player from France that played a solo on the track Heaven's Falling as well. So it was quite a task to put it all together. But as far as the production goes, because we wrote it all completely ourselves, like even the vocal lines and all the music.
It was relatively simple.
Yeah.
To me personally, the whole writing of the music, and that was the easiest part of the album. Because I think recently the whole thing with getting all the artwork done and trying to establish ourselves as a band, and in a very a lot of progressive rock bands are very established, trying to get on that scene as a British prog band is actually a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, but as far as the recording goes, because it was us two, that was really easy, and we could just all record that ourselves. The album was actually I did it in my home studio, so I produced it all and I mixed it, and we went to it was RPM Studios in London. I think they've done like Metallica and AC/DC and all these bands, and so that was really easy. And it was just actually what we did with these singers. We sent things over the internet, and it was really easy because I've got the music written out, so I sent them audio files without any vocals, and just sent them manuscript paper, just the score of the vocal melodies and everything, just written out, and I sent that to them, and they recorded it, interpreted it how they wanted. I said we said that they could add or do whatever they want with it, but this was just sort of the basis. So
a lot of singers got it exactly how we wanted, and a lot of them, scratch that, all of them went above and beyond the call of duty. It was amazing, especially Andy from Silent Call on the tracks that he's done. It's mind-blowing. Some of the arrangements he's gone for are just, I remember listening to it the first time, and my jaw, I don't think it would have gone any lower. I was sitting there the whole time just it was such a pleasure to work with all of them. It's fantastic. fantastic, actually.
But it was relatively painless, I'd say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's very good for a young band. to
Yeah.
make.
Oh, it really was.
Exactly. Yeah.
How would you explain a fan your style? Haven't heard of you until now.
After you.
Thank you.
I think that with the genre, like we've been put in the progressive rock metal genre, and I think that if you could take a cross section of the heavy section, the light parts, the bits in between, just every single part of that, then you've got a rough idea what a Mind's Portrait is. You've got some fantastic singing, you've got some amazing thrash bits, you've got some bits which are very reminiscent of really light, the lighter side of prog rock. You've got very synth driven, very guitar driven.
I mean, you've even got your piano ballads. There's even a
orchestral
classical track on there.
So I mean, there's no limitation.
And I mean vocals. There's everything ranging from your operatic power metal style singing all the way to death metal growling and everything.
Everything is possible.
Exactly.
It really is, and that was the whole point of
Nothing's
the
out
album.
of the question.
Exactly.
Next one is a very stupid one, because what is your personal favorite song from this? Your really personal favorite.
First,
I know it's very difficult because most bands said I like the whole album.
Yeah.
So
well, we better say the
Well,
cliche
they're like your
first.
children, aren't they?
Well, yeah. First of all, we have to say we do love the whole album. I think the one for me, the shiner, is Time Divide, because I wrote pretty much all the lyrics. Divine. I always put Time Divine, because I wrote the lyrics for that track, and I've got quite a relationship with it. And just having Neil sing that, I mean, we've listened to Pagan's Mind for years, and when he first agreed to do it, I just couldn't believe it. I was jumping up and down, and when I first heard that track, just words can't describe how just amazing it was just to hear someone like Neil singing that track. I mean, he was just it's what you want from a singer. I mean, it's just everything, just astonishing, I really think.
So it's your personal baby, this one.
Yeah, if that was going to be my favourite child, that would be the one I'd rub on the head a lot more.
I think it's a tie for me.
Yeah?
But it's only two. It's not too bad, I'm not saying. I'd have to say either the first track, Existence, just because I love the arrangement of it, and it's sort of complex and all the time changes and everything, but it's still accessible, I'd say. But the vocals on that just blew me away the first time I heard it.
Definitely.
And I'd say as well, Hope's Echo Part 2 with Andreas Novak singing on it, because I've been a big fan of Mind's Eye for years, and to hear that and to hear his interpretation of it as well, and also because that was a song we'd had in the works for a few years, and it was ideas sort of floating around, and then to hear that all come together, I mean, for me that's sort of a big attachment. So,
What bands can be seen as your main sources, or more or less mentioned? Are you both fixed into the same style, or are your favorite styles different?
It's funny because for me, after hearing the respective singers on the album, because we've got four very different singers, it's funny because I really think, because both me and Rich were really influenced by Pagan's Mind, by Myrath, by Mind's Eye, as I said, and when we heard the singers on their respective tracks on the album, it's really funny because I can really see the parallels between the tracks with Pagan's Mind, with Myrath especially, and that's the thing that I really found, is that if you have a normal band, you can hear the influences, but you can't quite fully hear them. But I really thought with our influences, they're really clear, because we've got the singer from that band that we've worshipped for years, and you really think, I think it's pretty clear.
but then again, I'd also say that it is set apart, because
definitely.
because it does sound like the tracks that say Nils K. Rue is on, I wouldn't say they sound completely like Pagan's Mind tracks.
Oh no, but you can see the.
But obviously they've got his voice on it, it's got that style, and we wanted to try and give them something that they feel comfortable doing.
Yeah.
But then at the same time it's still got our signature on it, and it's our tracks. And
I think when we first started out, the main idea was, we want to try and sound like everyone and anyone. We wanted to kind of get that element of every prog band that anyone has ever loved, and then just kind of say, right,
take
this
the
is
best
us.
parts of everyone, and
and then just say, right, this is
You're
us.
not fixed into a one style.
No,
No,
definitely
definitely not.
Presented by the Metal Underground web scene.